Imam Abul Hasan al-Dailami reports that once Sayyidina Jibreel asked Almighty Allah, "O my Lord, how this person Abraham, Sayyidina Ibrahim Alaihissalam, is your chosen friend?" Sayyidina Ibrahim Alaihissalam was sitting once on top of a mountain. Imam Dailami has reported with his chain and authority. Sayyidina Ibrahim Alaihissalam was sitting on the top of a mountain, watching his sheep graze. Below him there were 400 flocks of sheep. 400 flocks of sheep which he owned. Sayyidina Ibrahim Alaihissalam was such a rich person. 400 flocks of sheep. He was watching them sitting on the top of the hill. And each flock with a shepherd and a dog and certain other arrangements for their protection. The angels said and protested. And they said, "Almighty Allah, why you have taken Ibrahim as your friend and as your beloved? The one who possesses all these worldly goods and so much worldly goods, such a rich man, having 400 flocks of sheep and with this and this and this. How you have chosen him as your beloved friend?" Angels asked Almighty Allah. So Almighty Allah is answering to their question. He ordered Jibreel and said, "Jibreel, go to him. Let them know why I have chosen Ibrahim as my beloved. Go to Abraham. Stand in front of him and mention my name." He said, "Oh Jibreel, go to Ibrahim. Stand in front of him and mention my name loudly and go and say, Allahu Akbar. Recite my name with a beautiful way." So Sayyidina Jibreel Alaihissalam went to Sayyidina Ibrahim in the form of a man and stood behind him and invoked Allah's name loudly, mentioned Almighty Allah's name with a very beautiful melodious voice, Allahu Akbar. Now you close your eyes and say in the same way as a lover calls his beloved, say Allah. Not like this, like a beloved who is very upset for his beloved, a lover, like an ashik, call, recite with loud voice your beloved, Allah. Not like this. Close your eyes as a lover calls his beloved, Allah. Now say 7 times, closing your eyes. Loudly. From core of your heart. Yes. So Jibreel recited his name, mentioned the name of Almighty Allah in a melodious voice. Sayyidina Jibreel Amin heard him. He turned around and exclaimed to him and asked him, "O stranger, say it again. Say it again. Say it again for me. Repeat the recitation of my beloved's name." Jibreel Amin, he was in the form of a man. He asked, if I say it again for you, my friend, what will you give me? What would be the cost of this recitation? He said, I will give you a flock of sheep, along with the shepherd and dog and all other protective arrangements which I have made for the flock. I will give you. Just say one more time my beloved's name. Jibreel Amin said it again. He gave him the flock. Then Sayyidina Ibrahim said, repeat it again for me. What would you give? I will give you another flock of sheep along with everything. He repeated Almighty Allah's name's recitation. He gave him the second flock. And then asked, repeat it again for me. Then he gave him the third flock. And he went on repeating. And by the end of the day, Sayyidina Ibrahim Alaihissalam gave him all 400 flocks of sheep. He recited Allah's name 400 times on his request. And he gave all the 400 flocks of sheep to Jibreel, leaving nothing behind. When that person, yani Jibreel Amin in the form of a man, was holding all 400 flocks along with his shepherds, now he was the owner. He wanted to move from there. Sayyidina Ibrahim said, please, can you repeat it again for me? At that time, he had nothing in his hand. Can you repeat my beloved's name again for me? He looked behind. He said, yes, I can, but what cost will you pay now? There's nothing left with you. You have nothing in your hands. What will you pay for me? He said, you repeat my beloved's name and I will become your slave. If you want, keep me as your shepherd. If you want, sell me in the market. Just repeat once more my beloved's name. I will work as your shepherd. I will work as your worker. Or if you want, you can sell me in the market as a slave. He repeated again Allah's name. And Sayyidina Ibrahim Alaihissalam went to him, raised his hand and can hold my hand and make me your slave. Jibreel Amin stood there and he said, O friend and beloved of Allah, he said, it is indeed fitting that you should have been chosen beloved friend of Almighty Allah. Oh Allah, whatever you do correctly. He really deserved to be your chosen friend. So the love of man for Almighty Allah means that he prefers his love and his pleasure to over everything in his life. It doesn't mean, love doesn't mean to be a poor person or to be a rich person. It neither negates poverty nor negates richness. It has nothing to do with richness or poverty. It has to do with the richness and poverty of heart. What is the state of your heart in his love?
सबसे पहले नई वीडियोस को हासिल करने के लिए शेख-उल-इस्लाम डॉक्टर मोहम्मद ताहिरुल-क़ादरी के ऑफिशियल यूट्यूब चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें और बेल आइकन क्लिक करें।